Back in the spring of 1986, 2 years removed from representing Canada at the 1984 Summer Olympics, Brit Townsend resumed her collegiate career at Simon Fraser University with a flourish, setting a record in the 800 meters at the NAIA National Championships, which, with each passing season, seemed more and more unbeatable. 2 laps of the track in 2:03.89. Yet it's because that record no longer stands that this story has truly come full circle.
I feel really fulfilled that I was able to run at a collegiate level. And I almost feel even more fulfilled that I was able to coach the athlete that bettered my record. That was always my goal. If it was going to get beat, it better be by somebody who I'm coaching.
Helen Crofts was not even born when her coach-to-be, the former Brit McRoberts, set the NAIA 800-meter championship meet record. Yet their resumes are so uniquely similar, right down to the fact that each graduated from West Vancouver Secondary with 800-meter titles at the BC High School Championships.
Like myself, she was a multi-sport athlete all the way through high school. She could have gone on and played provincial field hockey and international field hockey probably, but chose track, which I did as well. I think she first came on the scene when she was in about grade 10, which is pretty similar to me as well. But she's definitely better in the sciences than I was. That'd be a big difference.
Yet rocket science wasn't needed to see the kind of influence Townsend was beginning to have, and that both she and Crofts were kindred souls.
I think the biggest thing for Brit with me is that she's really taught me confidence, but also to believe in yourself and believe what's possible. And that's one of the biggest things I've taken away from my experience at SFU in general. And that applies to almost anything in life.
With her performance peaking for the 2011 NAIA Outdoor Nationals, Crofts was competing at such a high level that both coach and athlete agreed the time was right to try and break Townsend's national record. The symmetry of its 25th anniversary just made it all the more special.
I said, you know what, you have nothing to lose. There's nobody in the race that's going to touch you anyways. So why don't we just go for it? She went completely by herself and ran the record on her own, which had, I guess I probably did the same thing, but for her to do that 25 years later, and obviously competition gets a little stronger, was awesome.
Sometimes you start running and you feel fantastic, and I remember the crowd was super into it too. I think they realized kind of early on what I was shooting for. I ended up shattering my personal best by about half a second. Yeah, it was just a crazy experience. It was my birthday that day. I think it was my 21st birthday, like that day. Yeah, it was just a lot of crazy stuff all went into one.
A new record at 2:02.12, yet it was a result that stood for so much more. Examine what happened in between the bookends of Townsend's 1986 record and Crofts' 2011 revision of the standard, and you have a complete volume of women's middle distance excellence. There's 3-time Olympian Leah Pels, there's Julia Howard and Rebecca Johnstone, there's Crofts and 2012 Olympian Jessica Smith. And just this past season, an 800-meter champion at the NCAA Division II level in Lindsay Butterworth. It's the very definition of tradition.
You know what I think the biggest difference is? That people come here and they now believe that if they do all the things that they need to do, they can make the national team. That my vision is long term, and I'm hopefully providing them with a platform to really get to the top level. I
came to university having run 2:10 or 2:11 for the 800 and down to 2:01. Like, that's a huge improvement. And I think, you have those people to train with, and we're pushing and pulling each other to be our best all the time. So I think the history is going to continue.